Hi there, it's Ruth, and the question we have today is 5 and 2/5 minus 2 and 1/3. We're going to separate the whole numbers into fractions, subtract them, and then combine them at the end. So first we're going to subtract 2 from 5. So 5 minus 2 is 3. We have 2/5 and subtract 1/3. But we realize that the denominators are in fact different. So we can't go ahead and subtract 1/3 from 2/5. We first have to find the lowest common denominator and then do the subtraction. All right, so we're going to take the first denominator and find the multiples of that. 5, 10, 15, 20. I'm going to stop at 20. So the second fraction, the denominator is 3. So 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. So we realize that the lowest common denominator will be 15. So both fractions have to be rewritten with a denominator of 15. So 2/5, we want 15 as the denominator. We ask ourselves, what number do we multiply 5 by so as to get 15? And that is 3. And whatever we do to the denominator, we must do to the numerator. So we must multiply 2 by 3 also. 2 times 3 is 6. So 2/5 rewritten with a denominator of 15 is 6 over 15. The second fraction is 1/3. Again, we want a denominator of 15. So we ask ourselves, what number do we multiply 3 by so as to get 15? That number is 5. 3 times 5 is 15. Whatever we do to the denominator, we must do to the numerator. So 1 times 5 is 5. So 1/3 rewritten with a denominator of 15 becomes 5 over 15. Now that we have a common denominator between both fractions, we could go right ahead and subtract the numerators. So 6 minus 5 is 1 over 15 because we're keeping the denominator. So we have the fraction component of 1/15 and a whole number component of 3. So at the end, we're going to combine both. Combine the 3 and the 1/15, and this gives us 3 and 1/15. So 5 and 2/5 minus 2 and 1/3 is 3 and 1/15. Another way we could approach this question is by converting the mixed numbers to improper fractions, finding the lowest common denominator, subtracting the numerators, and then reconverting the improper fractions back to mixed numbers. So let's take a look at that approach. So first fraction, 27 times 27 and 2/5, rewritten as an improper fraction will be 27 over 5 because 5 times 5 is 25 and 25 plus 2 is 27. The second fraction, 2 1/3, rewritten as an improper fraction will be 7 over 3 because 2 times 3 is 6 and 6 plus 1 is 7. Again, we see that we don't have a common denominator between both fractions, so we have to set up a common denominator. And we know from the previous example that this common denominator will be 15. What number do we multiply 5 by so as to get 15? Is 3. So we must multiply the numerator by 3 also. 27 times 3 is 81. The second fraction, 7 over 3, again, we want our common denominator of 15. What number do we multiply 3 by so as to get 15? And it's 5. Again, multiply whatever we do to the denominator, we must do to the numerator. So we must multiply 7 by 5 also. 7 times 5, 35. Now that we have common denominators between the fractions, we could go right ahead and subtract the numerators. So 81 minus 35, that will give us 46. So 5 and 2/5 minus 2 and 1/3 is 46 over 15. But this is an improper fraction, and you might be asked to convert this improper fraction to a mixed number, or sometimes it's referred to as a proper fraction. All right, so we want to know how many whole 15s can we get from 46. We know that 15 times 3 is 45. Yeah, 45. So we could get 3 whole 15s from 46. And we will have a remainder of 1. This setup here will help us with deriving the mixed number or converting 46 over 15 to a mixed number, because we know that we got 15 from 46 3 whole times, or 3 here. The denominator will remain the same, and the remainder is the new numerator. So 3 and 1/15. So again, 5 and 2/5 minus 2 and 1/3 is 3 and 1/15. Or if you want to leave it as an improper fraction, 46 over 15. So the first way, we separated the whole numbers and fractions, subtracted the whole numbers, then subtracted the fractions, and then ultimately combined the whole number and the fraction components at the end. The second way, we used the improper fraction approach, where we converted the fractions to improper fractions, found the lowest common denominator, subtracted the numerators, and then converted the improper fractions back to mixed numbers. Again, thank you so much for watching, and please feel free to comment and subscribe. Thank you so much.